Hello everyone, my name is TOKO JIRI. I'm a PhD scholar in Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh, India. And my presentation is on mental health implications on children of polygamous marriages in Arunachal Pradesh, a social work study. As you can see in the contents, there are 9 major topics and some subtopics overall to be covered in this presentation. So before moving on, I would like to explain about what polygamy is and about the universe Arunachal Pradesh. Polygamy is a practice of extended family system where an individual has more than one marital spouse. And when we talk about Arunachal Pradesh, it is known for its scenic beauty and rich travel, culture, and tradition. It is located in northeastern region of the country, India. Arunachal Pradesh, according to 2011 census, Government of India, 68% of population in Arunachal Pradesh is tribal. So from this, we can say that Arunachal is a tribal-dominated state. And when we talk about polygamy in the context of Arunachal Pradesh, the practice of polygamy in the state earlier was acknowledged as a part of its tribal tradition, and it was also seen as a status of pride and economic sustainability of the family. But in the recent times, people have expressed concerns about the repercussions of polygamy, considering it as a social evil. However, the mental health of the children of polygamous marriages has hardly been discussed. So, therefore, this paper presentation aims to explore the mental health implications on the children of polygamous marriages in a social work perspective. So there are two objectives of my study. The first is to explore the impact of polygamy on mental health of children. Second is that the paper puts forth implications for future research studies in a social work perspective. So in review of literature, I have reviewed 2 articles in total. The relevance of the first article, which you can also see in the screen, the relevance of the first article and the study is that the impact of polygamy on children at emotional and behavioral level is found to be somewhat same, while the article then bridged the gap of target-based intervention. And while moving on to the second article that has been reviewed, that the target system of both the article and the study is focused on the children of polygamous marriage, while the universe of the intervention is based on the local level and not on a global level. While the implications of polygamy, such as domestic violence, mental health of husband or wife of the tribal society of Arunachal Pradesh has been brought to limelight constantly, but at the same time, there are hardly any researches done on the children of such practice in the context of the tribal society of Arunachal Pradesh. The study implies a social work perspective in exploring the psychological impacts of children of polygamous marriage. As it is cleared by the objective that the nature of the study is exploratory, while the researcher has integrated a mixed approach. The data were collected through both the primary and secondary sources of data. The participants were selected by using the purposive sampling of non-probability sampling, and the study is based on the Yachuli village of Lower Subansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh. The total of 10 participants were selected for the research. And the core components of the semi-structured interview was done by categorizing the participants based on category 1 as children of first spouse, category 2 as children of second and third spouse, and third category as children of monogamous children. The questions asked were based on the experienced and inexperienced opinions of the respondents, their perspective on causes, impact, and suggestions on how and why to stop polygamy. The data findings are divided the data findings are based on the division of category as mentioned earlier. While the first and second category were interviewed based on their experience, the third category were interviewed only about their opinion of polygamy. Summarizing the data findings, it can be concluded that the major psychological impact experienced by the respondents were depression, family estrangements, and their view on the marriage and family system. It was also witnessed that the children are the unintentional victims of the polygamy. The respondents highlighted that they were aware of that they needed help, and also aware of the fact that there are some available and accessible support system both at micro, that is family, and at a macro level, that is which includes professional help. However, out of embarrassment of their parents' action and out of the fear of being judged, they didn't sought for any help. It was also highlighted that the majority of the participants condemned polygamy as a social evil, but also expressed their concern on supporting for the widower remarriage, while the impact of children of any cases of polygamy, whatever the causes may be, whatever the reasons may be, the impact on children were reflected the same, which is also evident in this current study. And while coming to the analysis part, the analysis is solely done on a social work perspective. So at the first point, it comes that it was strongly evident that the majority of the participants were not aware of diverse types and implications of polygamy. So there was the need for greater awareness among diverse category of respondents on types and implications of polygamy. And according to the first article reviewed, as mentioned earlier, the children of polygamous marriage have higher probability of suffering family conflicts, family disruptions, marital conflict, and some mental health impacts as compared to the children of monogamous family, which can be validated in this study. The point three of the analysis reflects a contradicting perspective of boycotting the one participating polygamy, while the third category, one of the respondents stated that the one practicing polygamy should be boycotted from social gathering and from holding any prestigious post in the society. It was this quote and this statement was contradicting to the responses that the researcher gathered from the first and second categories, which they claim to be the unintentional victims of the polygamy. They shared the societal experiences of suffering, which is in some way caused by these practices. So in a social work perspective, researcher felt that the need-based support system, which is based on 3 A's of developmental theory, and when we say 3 A's, it includes availability, accessibility, and affordability. The researcher felt the need or the necessity to add another A in 3A, that is approachability. So whatever the support system is, whether it is being available, accessible, and affordable, it is not successful until and unless it is not approachable. So this was the overall analysis that has been made on the data findings that was gathered from the semi-structured interview and secondary data, a review of literature. So from this, I would like to conclude my presentation, and these are the references which I have taken help from. And yeah, thank you so much.